Hey racers, it's Sherpa Dave here. I did a race today that went through the jungle and I thought it would be a great time to run some numbers, do some close looking at what would happen if I changed bikes. Going into this ride, I knew I wasn't going to be at the front. It's a whole bunch of A's and B's with a few of us C's towards the end, but I'm going to sort of skip all the way forward to entering the dirt road section of the jungle. And you can see I'm with a little group of 3. Pause the background music for you. When I hit the gravel, I was riding with a group of 3. Dunn was 5 seconds behind. Greenwood was 3 seconds ahead. And Adelaide was 20 seconds ahead of where I was. And there was another big group 1 minute ahead of us. I should have been in that group. I missed a split that was just stupid and made a bad decision. But there you go. We live and learn. That will be the subject of another video. But let's kind of just jump on. So I'm riding the Tron, as you can see. I'm going to jump into the menus. I'm slowing down behind the scenes, as you can see in the background there. Jumping up to the frame. Frame's not working yet. In we go. As I stop, the frame light comes on so I can go in and make the Zwift change. I chose the Specialized Epic. I'm not a mountain bike rider, so I have no idea if that's a great mountain bike. And away we go again. There we go. Back on the power. All right, so where were we? 29 seconds it took me, and I lost 13 seconds between me and the riders ahead. But I'm back on the power, and I've caught them. It took me 2 kilometers to catch them, and those 2 kilometers were just over 3 minutes. I'm going to skip ahead again. You remember Adelaide? Well, there he is, and I'm catching him now. The interesting thing about him, I don't know him, but the interesting thing about him, I looked him up on Zwift Power. He's a B rider, and I don't think he's pushing it today. But you can see he's doing 3.4. I was doing less than that, but I hung behind him for a little while, and then I decided to go for it and dropped him really easily, and he's a stronger rider than me. Okay, we're going into the switch. Going to the switch back to the Tron is faster because you're going uphill, you slow down quicker, so the whole thing is just a bit quicker. Back onto the Tron, it kept my color luckily. Away we go. Come on, don't sit there, let's go. Excellent. All right, the elapsed time 23 seconds from power off to power on. The time lost 11 seconds, and overall I should have, I'm going to go back to that. Sorry about that. Let's go back to that. There we go. All right. So where were we all together? The group of 5, that group ahead, is now 120 ahead. Adelaide is 11 seconds behind me, and Greenwood, Dunn, and Shook are 25 seconds behind me. All right. So you can see that there's a gain. We're going to do the math a little later on. As I rolled forward, I knew I was never going to catch those guys a minute and a half, a minute and 20 seconds ahead. So I actually let Adelaide catch up with me, and the 2 of us finished up together. I was going to show you a clip of me winning the sprint, but I just decided against it. There we go. So what's the net? The net is that changing bikes saved me 38 seconds versus similar or better performing riders. I was in the wind the entire time. And if you look at that group of riders ahead that were around my fitness, a little bit stronger, a number of them, but generally speaking around my fitness, I only lost 20 seconds to them, and they were drafting each other the whole time. I caught the original group in 2 minutes and then quickly caught Adelaide as well. And overall, what you don't see in the video, but just letting you know, changing bikes actually created options that I wouldn't otherwise have. I wouldn't have been able to drop Adelaide that way if we were on a similar bike. I wouldn't have caught him in the first place, of course, but there you go. And also later on, I let him catch me, and then we finished up together, and I beat him in the sprint. And I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have been able to pull that off if I'd been going at threshold through the jungle the entire time. Okay, so net, I would always switch bikes unless I was in a big group traveling at my threshold, so I didn't have much margin of error, and there were no other riders around me, meaning I'd be in the wind the whole time. Meaning if I dropped 20 seconds behind them while I did my switch, and then tried to catch them up, I would have to push past threshold to do it. That wouldn't make any sense. But pretty much in any other circumstances, so in a big group ride where you're going to see streams of riders that you can draft off as you go through, if you were at or below your threshold in a small group like I was, even though I was in the wind the entire time, I still passed them all and stayed ahead of them all through the entire race. So net, to me, always switch bikes in the jungle and just practice doing it. I'm reasonably good at it, but there are certainly better people than me. I'm on Apple TV, which is a sucky UI for achieving that. But if you're on a Mac, or if you are on another iOS device, or basically anything, or on a PC, then you're going to do faster switches than me. So it totally makes sense. I hope this was useful. If it was, please do give the video a like, maybe comment in there if you've got any questions. And if you're feeling really generous, then you can always hit that subscribe button to my channel. Thank you very much, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.